Okay, good morning, flight and sim enthusiasts. We are in our Airfoil Labs King 350 sitting at Golden, BC. We're going to do basically a VFR flight from Golden over to Revelstoke. I've got a GPS course plugged into my FMS, and the RNAV approach for Revelstoke. It's called RNAV GNSS brackets Alpha. Revelstoke Charlie Yankee Romeo Victor. The transition waypoint into that RNAV is Ragut. We're not flying a IFR. We're flying VFR. So initially we're going to climb out on runway 14 at Golden to the south and circle around and fly VFR up towards Rogers Pass. We're going to try and overfly Rogers Pass, and then we're going to engage the FMS and go direct to Ragut and try and fly a simulated NOA RNAV approach into Revelstoke. But it's basically a VFR flight, and I've got manually configured weather. I've got wind set I think about 20 knots from 140. So we're just using standard pressure on our altimeter 2 we got the Airfoil Labs aircraft already started in the before taxi mode, which is provided by Airfoil Labs in their excellent aircraft with all these different panel views down here, and also your different configuration settings and start modes up here. So we're gonna get see if we can get going here. We're at Golden, and we're gonna do a before taxi checklist before we get going here. We're not going to do all the checklists because a couple of them, like the run-up before takeoff, is 4 pages long and is just too long to go through for when you're trying to make a video. I've also got a printed checklist sheet here, which differs a little bit from the one that pops up from the operating manual down here by your left leg. You can't see it down there, but it's right down here because I've got it popped up now, and that's our fuel state there right now, and we got lots of fuel. So we're going to go back, go through this before start taxi checklist now, and let's do the start checklist.
Gen tie switch. Observe left generator tie, right generator tie annunciators illuminated. Open. Voltmeter.
Up here.
Observe center bus at battery voltage. Check.
There, set about, I don't know, it's 28.
Switch.
Gen tie switch set normal.
Observe center bus voltage normal.
Okay, should set, there it's set. Bus sense switch right beside it.
Observe left generator tie open, right generator tie open, and battery tie open.
That's from the annunciator panel down here.
Rotate the voltmeter bus select switch through each position. Note 0 voltage on all positions except battery. Observe center bus at battery volts in center bus. Check. Bus sense switch.
Back to that bus sense
switch. Generator tie open, right generator tie open, and battery tie open annunciators illuminated. Reset.
That's down here.
Voltmeter bus select switch through each position.
Triple fed as we come to.
On all positions except battery. External power. Check. Triple fed bus in center bus. Bus selector switch. Triple fed.
Triple fed.
Master panel and cockpit lights. As desired. Environmental system.
Lead air was set to normal.
Set. Inverters 2. Number 1
Inverters are on.
Bus annunciators extinguished.
Here.
On check. Avionics master switch.
Up here, Onyx master switch.
FMS.
We got that on the
Verify and
pop-up
accept.
panel here on our right screen.
EFIS power switches. On.
Down here.
Flaps.
Flaps are up.
Exterior lights.
Okay, taxi lights, nav light, and beacon light on at this time.
As required.
As required. Flight and engine instruments, no flag showing.
Check. Cabin lights.
Cabin lights down here, we'll put them on. Furnishing switch we'll put on for coffee pot.
As desired.
Annunciators test normal. They should light up. They do.
Test in normal.
Flight controls.
Flight controls.
Check. Free and correct.
Flight instruments.
No flags.
No flags.
Brakes.
Brakes.
Go down here, release them. You gotta
Release
check
and
that.
test.
Okay, checklist complete.
Before taxi checklist. Complete.
And go back to the airport diagram here, and I've got the golden diagram, airport diagram, georeferenced on my iPad on ForeFlight. So we're gonna taxi down to runway 4, and we got this in just in Bravo mode, just before less than Bravo mode, so we can taxi a little faster. And I don't need these caution lights, should be out.
Approaching runway 1432.
And we're not flying real weather, or
Entered runway 1432.
we're not on squawk box or pilot edge, so we've got free wheeling what we want to do basically here on these runways. I'm recording by 2 different systems. I got Movavi screen capture software capturing about 2 monitors out of my 3 monitor setup. I have my iPhone up here, which I'm capturing on my iPhone, and I've got 2 different sound systems. I got mic going into my iPad, and Logitech headset into Movavi screen capture software. And we don't have much wind showing on the sock there here, even though it's from, I guess it looked like about 150. Okay, we'll ting it around here. Runway 14. We got about 20 knots wind on that sock, I guess. As we turn around, you should be able to see it right there. Oh, almost gonna watch my taxiing in this thing. Okay, we'll stop here, put our foot on the brakes for a bit, and just a quick review. I got my FMS set to track my GPS route on my FMS. We're not going to use that initially until it's we're over the Rogers Pass, and then we're going to fly direct to Raguette for the RNAV approach. Till that point, we're just going to fly manually. Well, we'll use the autopilot for altitude and heading, I guess. We got to go down now into get our landing lights on, taxi lights off, strobe light comes on, pilot heat, I don't know whether that's, I guess that's on there, we should have that on. Flying over the mountains, surface the ice, break the ice, don't need to worry about. Okay, that's okay, so we'll go over to the other panel here. We got to have the auto feather armed. We got that armed. Engine anti-ice is on. Our engine ignition as to off or as required. Okay, everything looks fine there, so I think we're ready to get rolling here. I gotta go up into, I'm just gonna bring this up here now where you can see it a little better. We gotta go into alpha mode. And we're gonna climb out about 154 knots to start with. I'm gonna bring up my low idle to about midway. I don't need full idle. Okay, release the brakes. Okay, give some power here. Very sensitive rudder pedals I have.
Auto feather lights on.
Okay, full power, bring it back a little. I don't need quite full there.
V1. Rotate V2. Positive rate. Gear up.
Gear up.
Attitudes check. Flight indicates up.
Okay, I've armed the altitude. We're bouncing around here, a little bit of turbulence. I'm going to use the climb mode now also to climb out at 167 knots. Boy, we're bouncing around in turbulence here. So we're going to climb out here until we got enough altitude to get over the mountains here. So we're going to climb out right up to our at least 12,000 before we start swinging around. Boy, we're bouncing around pretty good. So we got climb power set. We can set that about 80. Bring our props back to about 1600 RPM. Fine tune that a little bit later. We've got to have our prop sync down there. And we should do a after takeoff check. Up. This is sort of the after takeoff. Brakes, of course, are off or on hold. Power levers, I don't know what they mean. Set static power. Brakes released. VR pitch 10 degrees. Landing gear up. Landing taxi lights off. Well, we can go down there and put our landing lights off now. Okay, landing lights off. And the flaps are up. Checklist complete. Get that out of the way so it's not providing a bunch of blinding stuff in our way there. And I've got my brightness set okay on my iPhone so I don't get some glare. So we can now start. I'm going to go set it to heading mode here now so I can use that to. Okay, we're going to arm the heading mode now, and we can start using that as we climb out here. Like I say, we're going to come right around. So we got about, looks like we're just about clear of the mountain tops. Boy, we're getting bounced around in quite a bit of turbulence. Okay, it looks like we just about got enough altitude to come around. Okay, we can come around and boy, we get a little turbulence, and it sure shows up in this software that I've got installed. Still climbing out 167. Really bounced around, quite a bit of turbulence. Okay, we gotta come right around now and head up towards Rogers Pass. go on about northwest to get up there. So. I don't know whether we can see Golden down below us here or not. I'll bring this down a little bit, get that out of the way. Yeah, I think that's Golden down in there where we just took off from. And now we're basically following ForeFlight on my iPad with the over the train map, and we're going to go right up to Rogers Pass. I don't know whether you can see that on my iPad or not, but that's what we're following, the train map and basically our GPS routing, although we're not using our FMS to track it at this moment. We're doing it in heading mode, which I don't know whether you can get that off. Okay. I'm gonna come around now, get a better line for act. See if we can have a glimpse at Active Pass or Rogers Pass. I flew over it yesterday going on a different route, visual approach down Arrow Lakes, turn around and back into Revelstoke. So this time we're just gonna do see if we get another glimpse of it here. Go outside to get a little bit of a see. We're not altitude yet, so we can see we got some turbulence and we're bouncing around. And there's the Golden scenery down here, that 4X plane scenery for Golden. And the Golden runway is right about down there. Golden Airport, right there. Of course, Trans-Canada Highway goes up the valley there, around this corner up here, and back down this valley towards Active Pass, which we're going to overfly. Like I say again, there's the Golden Airport right down there. You see the turbulence as we're getting bounced around. Okay, we're gonna go back, get back in and monitor. We should be getting close to our 14. We got 13.9, so that'll bring back put our power back up to about 85 there now. Just our pitch, oops, that seems to be a little out of whack. I must have hit something with my hand there. 1600 RPM with our props, there we are. It's looking pretty good there. Okay, we're not too far. God, my fingers are so sensitive. And we're gonna be overflying Rogers Pass there. Right where the big V is, and then we're gonna go direct to Reg at the RNAV approach into. Okay, you should be able to see the highway right down below us there. Comes down the valley here up into theirs. Looks like Rogers Pass to me right there. No, it shouldn't be because we're gonna fly right over it. So Rogers Pass should be right ahead of us, probably right in here. Look at my terrain map here, and yeah, so that, well, we're going to make our turn in Rogers Pass to be right over our starboard side here. We can come around a little bit more now. We should be heading right for Rogers Pass, which I think is right there. Highway goes up through there. You can actually see the valley down towards Revelstoke right in here. So this would be Rogers Pass right in here. Highway comes up through here. That's Rogers Pass down this way, then down the valley here down the valley here, so that's called Revelstoke. We're going to go down to the south here, come in on an RNAV approach over the Arrow Lakes into Revelstoke. Like I say again, there's the highway, comes right along here and up right through here through Rogers Pass. I'm going to go right over it pretty well. Boy, I didn't think I'd manually configured in so much turbulence. I put light turbulence, but we're getting bounced around. So this is Rogers Pass, right below us here. It's a turn down here, the highway, and then goes back down here all the way down to Revelstoke, which is about right over here. So that's Rogers Pass here, good view of it right below us here. Okay, we're going to start coming around now for our other it's Rogers Pass right below us there. Okay, you can see down there, that's the highway goes right down there. Trans-Canada Highway goes right down there, down into Revelstoke. It's right over about there where we're going to come in from the south and do an RNAV approach. Okay, we got to get okay, I'm going to go direct to Raggett now. It's showing direct, but I don't know whether we can get that activated. Doesn't want to do that for some reason. Oh, maybe it will once we
Sync rate. Sync rate.
what's going on here? Why did it better disengage that, disengage the autopilot. I don't know what happened there. And I get back down on the man, I don't know what went on there. See if we can get back on track here now. Get down to our altitude. Oh boy, what's going on? I'm gonna get back down to 14,000 feet. Bloody thing acted up. Like I say, I wasn't, if I had that plugged in right from the start, but I think we're going to get back on track here now. I think we got the nav showing direct to Ragged on my FMS, but boy, oh boy, I don't know how it got up to, well, I just gauge it. What is going on here now? Man.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
Does not want to follow that nav. What is going on here exactly? See if I can engage this, get the nav going again. No, it wants to. I don't want to do that. It's just it's going to some bloody waypoint that I don't see. I have plugged in there. It shows me going direct to Raggett. execute. Why did it disengage the autopilot again? Why is it doing that? Man, I don't know what's going on with this goddamn thing. Having trouble with my autopilot here for sure, but I think we've now got it going direct to Ragged here, and we're at 14,000. See if it'll. Okay, I don't know what was going on for sure there, but I think we've got it back on track now. So we're trying to intercept, fly direct using our FMS to Ragut, and it looks like we're heading right on it now. 14,000 feet. So we better get our nav approach shade look out here, and that's not the one we want. What did I do with that? Okay, Ragged, Kamloops. So we want to go down to about 12,000. At Ragged, not lower than 11,800, so we should be able to come down now to leave it at 13 because it looks like it's a pretty high peak still there. Man, I don't know what was going on with that autopilot, but anyway. Seemed to be wanting to go to show and direct to Ragged, but obviously was still going to a last fix point that I had set in over there, which I didn't want to fly. So I probably didn't initiate the direct properly, even though it was showing direct heading to Ragged. So we're 3 nautical miles from Ragged here now. I want to get my speed down. I think it's to 210. Doesn't give a speed there, but it PEP view wants not less and not greater than 210. So we're going to get down to 200 actually. Now what's going on? Okay, that's at Ragged, I guess. We're making our turn here now. Now again, why did it disengage the autopilot? I don't know what's going on. Autopilot wants to keep disengaging. I don't understand why. God. Okay, that's man, that's should have captured the altitude, but I'm gonna put notch of flap down when we get to 202 advanced flaps. Sure bouncing around. Okay, we can go down 1 notch of flap on the thing now. Approach flap as it's called. And boy, that's bouncing around. I didn't plan on this much turbulence, I'll tell you that. So I can see the Arrow Lakes ahead of us there. We've got a fairly long peak, but it takes us right down sort of through the valley here. Our next waypoint is Massog. Five miles away. And okay, it doesn't say anything initial there. We can go down at MAGCOS, we can go down to not lower than 94, so we can go down to 10,000. I guess that's when we get past this bloody big peak right here, I think, and that's still 3 nautical miles. Oh, this darn Kelowna scenery error keeps popping up. Whoa, watch my speed there, Gary. Almost got a little bit too low here. We're at, I want to get it back about 180 or 160, I guess. Keep it down. I don't want to. 165. It's a little slow, but boy, are we bouncing around. So in this menu configured weather and X-Plan, a little bit of turbulence. Like I had just a little wee bit set, you know, like that. And man, it's out of a thing like that. It's just, man, it's bouncing us all over the place here. So our next altitude, okay, we come down to 10,000, I guess now. I'm gonna go down on descent mode here, but boy, that one peak seems pretty. I guess we're gonna have it on our just on our starboard side there. Looks pretty dramatic right there. It looks so bad when you go out the window here. So that looks okay. Boy, we're getting bounced around, as you can see. Oh, what did I do? So Pepin, my God, Pepin 9,400 feet. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. Then we're gonna turn to Pepu, which we want to start coming down. It doesn't show an altitude there. Pepin not below 9,400 on the approach nav. I don't know quite how to interpret the profile mode there for that. I gotta do some studying on this IFR, but we should be making a turn here before too long onto the printer at 9,400 feet. At Pepin, when we turn north or on the RNAV, 318 degrees, we want to start going down to GPEV, what we want to be down to, I don't know, shows us above 7,500 feet, so I guess the RNAV showing it like at 7,500 feet. So I think we can start bringing that down now. $8,000. What's going on there? That's my gear warning for. Gotta watch my speed here. Boy, we're getting bounced around. I didn't think that much. Don't need that in the way there now. I can put this over here so we can. Okay, we're going to be turning north now. Pretty soon we're at Pepu, and we want to come down to, well, not lower than 7,500 feet. Well, we're at 8. I'll bring it down just a little bit, 7,700. And we're still descending there at descent mode at 1,500 feet per minute. Oh, what's that? That's the. Oh, that's the. Gotta let my speed get up a little bit there again. What's going on there now? Something's the autopilot disengaged again. I don't know what's going on with this autopilot. Oh, don't know what's going on with this autopilot. Don't know why it's disengaging like that on me. Should be able to arm the approach mode there now on this RNAV. There, it's got the approach on it. Whether it'll capture the RNAV, I don't know. At GoPev is where it should get it at GoPev there, but we're a little lower than 7,500 feet, so whether it'll capture it, I don't know. A little low on it, putting her back to 7,000. Lost at altitude when autopilot disconnected. So VNAV should, if it's gonna do it, should work pretty soon here. 1 mile. Boy, we're getting bounced around. Okay, it did capture the VNAV, so it's gonna fly that now, right where it should have been. Good. I think our altitude wasn't too bad. I'm gonna go forward with my props now. I want to get my speed down. Boy, the speed is just like that. It went wonky on me. Man, I'm getting bounced around. I want to get her down to 158 here so we can get full flaps down. Boy, if we don't get out of this turbulence, it's going to be a rotten landing, I can tell you that. Still 170 coming down. As soon as we get down to 158, I'm going to put my full flaps down, or put my gear down anyway. We can go down with gear actually now. I'm going to do that, so help slow her down with some of this turbulence. And it's flying the VNAV, so about 140 knots there now. Let's see if we can. Boy, it's bouncing around. Man, don't much care for that. Once we get close enough to the runway, we'll disengage the autopilot and fly it manually. I can go down to full flaps now because of the way my speed is bouncing around. I want to keep it about 140 knots here. Boy, well, there's the runway. We're not going to get down. Not going to get down on that. So I'm going to disengage the autopilot in that mode. I don't know. That was taking us way too high, so we might have to circle around and we're too high to go in at this altitude, I think. So I think we can get down time, so we might have to circle around. Way too high here.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
No, can't get down on this. So I don't know what happened on that VNAV. So we're gonna have to go around and maybe we'll come in from the,
500.
it's too high.
500 feet to minimums.
So we're gonna have to go around and do a little bit of a turnaround here. Wow, we're getting bounced all over creation here. I don't know, we can come in from the other way. We'll see. We may have to go down and get it stabilized here. Steep turn, see if we can go down and come back in for land the way we're supposed to be doing. There's a runway right there, but we're gonna go down and see if we can come back. Make a proper approach. I think we got no room to turn around. Runway's actually from the 150, so actually we should probably be going in from the north here, but I don't know what wind we're getting in here at all, so I should try and go back to the maps. I don't know what we're getting for wind in right now in reality, but that's not what we're. Wind is 360 at 2 knots according to real life, but we're flying manually configured weather, so. Anyway, we're gonna go back down and see if we can make an approach. I should set my reference bugs too here for landing. Go to the performance page, landing page, set the reference markers, which we just did. Not configured exactly properly because I can't get the data to enter properly on the thing. So anyway, we better keep it over here so we can make a turn. Starting to get a little high, so I want to do that. Lots of turbulence, so probably this wind is coming from the south up in here, from the valley too, bouncing around in the mountains. I gotta go down here a ways to make sure. I gotta try and stabilize the approach because we're sure getting buffeted. So I don't expect a very good landing if I tall on this my flying skills. I gotta go right down into this valley here and make a turnaround.
1,000 feet to minimums.
Don't went wrong with that RNAV. It showed it was flying the RNAV, but it sure brought you in way too high. I don't quite understand what was going on there, but I'm trying to learn IFR and instrument rate stuff, teach it myself, but I sure don't know. I've successfully flown a couple of RNAVs before, but that one was, I don't know, it said it was flying the RNAV, looked like it was, but way too high. Okay, we should be able to start coming around here now. Boy, bouncing around. Getting lots of sun reflection from the morning sun anyway. Boy, I'm getting bounced around. So we got full flaps and the gears down. Man, I can't see either now. Okay, there's the runway down there.
1,000 feet to minimum.
A little better altitude this time, but boy, I'm getting bounced around.
500 feet to minimum.
Man, we're getting bounced around. Really getting bounced around. Wow, wow.
Minimum.
Wow, it just makes me dizzy trying to.
Full.
Whoa. Whoa. Well, we chewed off some gravel there. Almost was coming good, but didn't. We chewed off some gravel there, but I'd say we landed all right. Not a very good landing, but gonna do that a few times to see improve your flying skills. I'll tell you that. Put this down to Bravo. See this there? That's actually gravel, not the asphalt. So, what's happening now? Now it won't even move until you go back up towards almost to the alpha mode. Well, that was interesting. Boy, I was getting bounced around. I've never flown with turbulence like that in this flight simulator, so I even got it down. I guess I considered it a success. It wasn't too bad. The approach was a little high, and I had to cut my throttles too much, which is not good with all that wind turbulence. And I'm gonna fly that again later today, just see if we can have some more success. We had problems with our autopilot too. I don't know exactly what was going wrong there. I might plug the plan in into the FMS so it can do exactly what I want to do, instead of trying to fly the half the flight without using the GPS route. But I don't know why it kept disengaging on me. You know, it successfully engaged and I didn't touch anything, and for some reason it would disengage. So anyway, that's interesting. I think it'll be worth uploading that, and we're gonna go down here, we'll save it, and then we'll go edit it afterwards. And I'm going to upload that this evening to YouTube because, well, a little bit of good stuff. Scenery over Rogers Pass. Again, the scenery for both Revelstoke and Golden is Canada 4X plane scenery. I really like the scenery, really like it, but I have a lot of problems with objects missing in various airports. So you always get these scenery errors popping up, like when Golden there coming before here, we were getting Kelowna errors. So, but I continue to try and download all the libraries that I'm supposed to do, but I don't know, it just does not. There always seems to be some object missing, and it's all it takes to bring up one of these darn scenery errors. So I don't know, I wish they'd find a better way to upload the scenery, so you know, with all the files there, it should dump it into your X-plane properly. But anyway, I'm new to this stuff, so we're gonna taxi over here. I might fly back later from Revelstoke to Golden, but I'll upload this one here, particular flight later. like flying into all these airports because it's BC airports and Alberta airports. That's where I live in Vancouver, British Columbia. I do have a private pilot license, but 40 years ago, I'm 73 years old now, so no instrument training as such, and so I'm trying to learn how to fly the airfoil labs properly, and at the same time teach myself IFR. So it's a big, tall order, as most of you flight simulators probably know. On the scale of abilities, I'm probably down there below the medium for X-plane and flight sim people, but we're going to get up there. So this we'll park over by this hangar over here, and it's time to go for my morning coffee. Hopefully they got a coffee pot. Might have to go into Revelstoke, the town, to have a bite to eat and you know, have a break. But then we'll come back and fly back to Golden. And I like these short flights, and then we might go back. Kelowna is a very good airport to land in too. So we're just trying to get a view of the scenery here in Canada Forex plane. There's several hangars. There's only, I don't remember, I think there was one aircraft I saw parked down there. So yeah, so the wind is, we should have landed from the north, so that probably didn't help anything when you look at the windsock there. So I was trying to do the RNAV approach, but the RNAV with the wind wasn't appropriate, I don't think. So probably added to our problems because we should have landed from the north. And I knew that actually because I got the manufactured wind, but you never know in these valleys exactly what's going on because the valley is not east and west. It's okay. We're going to park here, put our brakes on, and we're at Revelstoke. Put our brakes on. Go to our throttle quadrant up there. Go to the fuel cutoff. Go back now, so it's ready for the next flight to low idle. Shut our master avionics off. Go back outside, or look out the window. We'll go outside the aircraft now, and we'll go set it to open up the door. We got a couple people want to go to town with me for lunch, and we got to get some fuel to fly back to Golden. So bingo, just like that, we got the fuel truck sitting here. There we are, and Golden, or correction, Revelstoke. And that's it, folks. We're going to bring up our Movavi capture software and stop it there. And I hope you enjoyed all my erratic flying. And we'll stop it up here on our iPhone also at the same time. So first of all, we got to stop it over here with the